Before we begin, thank you very much to _Zeus for rejoining the Patreon campaign. Good to see your name again. Thank you so much for the contribution, for the support. Alright, so I'm going to be quick about it this time because, as I said in a previous video, a friend of mine started a GoFundMe for a mutual friend of ours who is in a really bad situation. He was forcibly kicked out of his home. He's living out of his car. He's not a bum, don't get me wrong. He's got a job, but he also has car payment, phone payment, etc., insurance, etc., while he's trying to save up for a down payment for an apartment. So the GoFundMe is to try and get that out of the way so we can get him back into a home and get a roof over his head as fast as possible, because it's a situation no one deserves to be in, much less someone like him who has spent, 20 years as an educator. And if anyone does not get what they deserve, it's educators. So thank you so much for the ones who have chipped in already. If you can chip in anything, I would appreciate it. Visit the link in the description. If you cannot, please at least share the link to someone you think could. Right now, it's just whatever we can do for him, whatever helps, and I thank you all for it. All right. Serious stuff out of the way. We can talk silly nonsense of fictional robots now. So, for the news roundup today, I'm going to try and be quick. I say that every time, but I literally mean it this time because there's a lot of news to cover and a lot that we have to go over in some detail. So we're going to hit a few things very quickly. This one we have to explain a little bit. So this was the big thing that I noticed this week. The leaks for the next season of Fortnite are out, and Optimus Prime is on the loading screen. It is if not the Rise of the Beast design, it is very close to it. He is wielding the axe that I have seen him wield with other toys from the line. So, very Rise of the Beast inspired. Optimus Prime is one of those entries I'm surprised took this long to get into Fortnite because they have a deal with Hasbro. Snake Eyes. Snake Eyes is in Fortnite. So they've done it, and Hasbro has the license for Fortnite toys, so this makes all the sense in the world. Now, for the Fortnite people in the crowd, for those who aren't into Fortnite, I apologize for starting off with this. I promise, real toys are coming soon. But for the Fortnite people, this is confirmed. It is not a secret skin. It's part of the Battle Pass, which does mean that it's going to get a whole bunch of alternate skins, a whole bunch of different alternate color schemes, which I'm sure Hasbro is going to throw onto whatever toy they want to make it some kind of Fortnite collaborative. Would not shock me in the least. For the non-Fortnite people, just keep in mind, it basically just means you buy the Battle Pass, you play for long enough, and eventually you get to play Optimus Prime. That's essentially what's going to be happening next season. I will admit, I still play when I can. I used to play Trios. They took Trios out. I'm still angry. But no, this is cool. It's actually cool. It's long overdue. I wish it was G1, because G1 would have a lot of extra fun flair stuff. But I'll take it. This also likely means Bumblebee is probably going to be something in the item shop at some point. Usually when a collaborative is in the Battle Pass, a companion piece or two is released as something you just buy without being part of the Battle Pass. So expect him, potentially Mirage or Scourge. We'll see. But don't think this is the end. This might be the beginning of a big collab, for all we know. Okay, real toys now. We're going to talk real toys now. Sorry for starting out with Fortnite, but hey, it is kind of a big deal for Transformers to join what is the largest video game collaboration of all time. Alright, we finally got our look at the Rise of the Beast Command and Convert animatronic Optimus Primal, and it's about as basic as we assumed it would be. It's pretty simplistic in how it transforms. It really just stands up and flips the ape head over to reveal Optimus Primal's normal head. It's very lackluster. It is basically, design-wise, it is RoboSen light. It does not respond to vocal commands. It responds to sound. So if you speak loudly, it's going to be more defensive and aggressive. If you speak more softly, it'll respond a little bit more friendly. There's buttons to unlock certain attacks or certain specific commands. So you've got there's play pattern here. but it is very much RoboSen light as far as what it goes for. It's $150, by the way, because it's just a ton of electronic sounds and lights and animatronic motors to make it all work. And it's not the right voice actor. It is not Ron Perlman. It is not anybody. It is generic voice number one. But yeah, it's gonna be the biggest toy for Rise of the Beast, I feel. Outside of like at least stuff that's officially coming from Hasbro. So I'm sure it'll do well for some. All right. So when they announced the potentials, the rumors came out for what else was coming out in Walmart's G2 line. Mirage was one of them, and my God, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. This thing looks like an abomination, and I love it. It's just like a screaming like watermelon bubble gum flavor looking boy. This is again from the Walmart G2 line, which is all based on unreleased art color repaints for Generation 1 toys that were supposed to be in G2. And I think that's an interesting concept for a line. And yeah, like this Mirage is it's gonna be very hard for this Mirage to turn invisible, I feel. I feel like if he turns invisible, it's because the light does not want to touch him. But I love it. I love it. I want it. This subline is going to be insane, and I want it. I kind of do. All right, we have in-hand shots. This, of course, like as soon as I posted my news roundup last week, immediately after, someone got their hands on Armada Megatron just to show it off, just when it was too late for me. And it pretty much just looks like Armada Megatron with a higher level of articulation, if we're going to be completely honest. Like, a lot of the details, if not, the gimmicks are not there, but the details of the vehicle mode are. So it very much, like, spot on, looks just like the Armada character. Articulation looks really solid. It's got a lot of good posability going on. Of course it does. It's a modern figure. The shoulders do something weird I don't like. Let me see if there's a good shot of it somewhere in all these little screen caps. Okay, there we go. The shoulders are doing this weird thing where I assume because of the transformation, it was better for Hasbro to mount the shoulders on the back side of the armor rather than against the torso, which means the shoulder joint is facing this way instead of this way. Now, in a functional standpoint, it should still function correctly. It should still, like, actually have all the range of a universal shoulder joint. It's just going to feel really weird to manipulate the shoulder. I don't know. They've done this a handful of times. I've never liked it when they do it. So we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, everything else about this thing looks fantastic. It does have a lot of ports on it that does make me start to think, yes, we might actually be getting Tidal Wave at a smaller price point. It also, it can do the tank turret forward thing as well. That reveals ports on the back, which might have to do with Tidal Wave. It's just 5mm ports, by the way. I'm going to point that out. It's not like any like heavy click thing that you would need for like big combining bots. So maybe it's still going to be a Titan, maybe not. We will find out. But yeah, it's looking really solid. Like apparently like Armada Optimus is really good. So so 3 out of 4 on the Armada toys so far, it looks like. I'll pick it up. I'll review it. Of course I will. There's a running change to your Studio Series 100 Deluxe Rise of the Beast Bumblebee. You see the one on the left and then the one on the right. The new one is featuring a fully painted face. Now, someone did point out that the artwork does not have a fully painted face. I like to more believe that to be a thing of the artwork, not the depiction. This is, more traditional of how we expect Bumblebee to look. If you didn't like the half-painted face he had before, you can get a fully painted face now. I'm not sure why that was a weird running change, but it exists. So if you see a stack of them, kind of comb through them. Make sure you get the version you want. All right, potato quality photo time. This is the point where we go through Takara Tomy leaks, which always consists of images that are no longer or taller than 300 pixels. And this is for another Beast Wars Again 2-pack, and this time it is Tigatron and Black Arachnia. These two packs always have some kind of connective tissue to them of why these two are packed together. This one feels like it's based on the trigger. Even though Black Arachnia is not in her silver color scheme, that two-parter was essentially Tigatron trying to protect the island and Black Arachnia trying to take it over. So yeah, thematically it makes sense for these two. Again, I've not gone in for any of these yet because they are expensive for what are essentially just minor upgrades to the paint jobs, but I will admit they look fantastic. They do look really, really good. It's one of those things where if I knew these were coming out, I might have skipped a lot of Kingdom so I could have the better versions of these later on, because my alternative is to sell off all the Kingdom ones bit by bit, and that's a lot more trouble than just, being patient and waiting for the good stuff. But hey, it is what it is. They've got more on the way. Still waiting to see the rest of the cast, which I'm sure at this point is definitely coming. More potato quality photos. The last train bot has been revealed for the Masterpiece MPG line. It is Kane, and Kane becomes the pelvis, the crotch of the figure, which is always the most contentious and risky of a combiner. It looks like they did okay. He's got a very large lower half, which seems like that's going to be like... It seems like he's going to use his pelvis to make the pelvis of Raiden. So we'll see how well that works. I might be wrong. It's kind of hard to tell on these images. Every time I hear about the Masterpiece trains, it is because someone else managed to break theirs. Again, I feel like... I'll just keep saying it. I'll keep saying it. Like... the in-hand stuff I hear is not good, and I really do not like how Takara Tomy has marketed this, considering its expense. But the date says 6/5, so June 5th, we might be getting a full reveal of this, and hopefully a full reveal of Raiden to find out what you're investing over $1,000 in as a combiner. More potato quality. This is the last one of our potato quality for the day. And this one is another. This one's more interesting. Again, marked for June 5th, so we'll see if that actually comes out. It is a Masterpiece hoist, which is exceptionally obvious considering Trailbreaker came out a while ago. You can see he's got an extended long crane arm that works on the back. He's got all the junk that his original G1 work truck mode had. It comes with a bunch of accessories, including like the alternate bumper thing that Trailbreaker did, a few tools he was using in G1, and the alien mask from Hoist Goes Hollywood. So it's him and Sunstreaker that both have that mask now. Did Trax have the mask too? I can't remember if all three of them did. But we are working on a whole collection of alien robots from that episode. So yeah, Hoist fans, you're gonna be happy soon. All right, we're done with potato quality, but we can still hang on. We get back to my proper zoom level. All right. This is the behind the scenes for Bumblebee's Buzzworthy Bumblebee Studio Series SS-102 Rise of the Beast Voyager Optimus Prime. These names. The cool part about this is that because everyone has been comparing it to the Bumblebee Optimus Voyager toy, everyone has been kind of curious just how much of it is shared between the two. Between size, engineering, details, parts especially, because they are very similar, but it does look like they've gone as far as they could from the Bumblebee movie Optimus. He is sleeker, his proportions are a little bit closer to the movie. You see this, like the head and the shoulders are a little bit smaller, he's taller as a result. You see the back still has similar design details to it, much cleaner. It's a much lower profile robot. Now, from these images, I don't know how much of the transformation scheme they share. I'm seeing areas on the Bumblebee movie Prime, like below the chest, where there are hinges that are absent on the Rise of the Beast one. So, for all I know, this is a different transformation scheme entirely. These are the only parts reused from the existing Voyager Optimus, and it's really just some internal details on the chest and the tires. That's literally it. Everything else seems to be new tooling, even though the two designs do share a lot. 4 molds going into this one, as you can see here. Potentially 5, because I don't see the yellow in that guide. But yeah, this thing is actually changed up quite a bit since one of the times where I think we got something really useful out of these behind-the-scenes looks, because a lot of people were asking about that. So, yeah, it's still weird. It's only going to be a buzzworthy Bumblebee toy, but hey, at the very least, it is looking really, really good. All right, we also, just to continue some of the Rise of the Beast news, now I will tell you, there's a ton of commercials out now, all with a little bit of new footage. I'm not going to spoil anything here, so we're not going to talk about any of the commercials. We will mention that the director did confirm that the movie takes place in a rebooted universe. Whether that reboot universe continues off of Bumblebee, most likely it does, or if it is completely fresh from this one and Bumblebee is still a very loose prequel to the 07 movie, all that is still weird. Point being, this is not connected to the Bayverse, despite what the producer says. So good to have confirmation. Good to have confirmation. With a little bit more movie news, I mentioned in a video very recently that I forgot if Transformers 1 was 2014, 2015. It's 2014, and it was July, but now it's going to be September. So it's always interesting to me what goes on in movies where they go like, you know what, we need 2 more months to work on this movie. Like, you've had like 2-3 years to work on it, and now you suddenly need 2 more. What's going to change in 2 months? That's the kind of weird, like, really? Kind of question in my head. But suffice to say, we are going to be getting Transformers 1 fall of next year. So on point for those, for our fully animated live-action Transformers movie. RoboSen is back at it. All right, we have the official images and product information for their Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime. Does not transform like their big G1 Prime does, but for $700, you do get something voiced by Peter Cullen, so lights and sounds. It's got all of the moving components of the normal RoboSen toy. Full app interaction, you can customize its actions, you can trigger its sound effects, etc., etc. You can do a lot of the RoboSen stuff as a robot with it. It just doesn't transform. So yeah, if that is worth $700 for you to have a little tiny version of Peter Cullen stomping around on your desk, then that is your call. Also, if you are more the Bumblebee inclined, RoboSen does have an official reveal now for its Bumblebee, which seems to function the exact same way. Aesthetically, it is going to match with their G1 Prime, but it is, again, non-transforming. It just walks around, follows your commands. I mean, if they're going the same route, I assume they're going to get the original VA for Bumblebee to come back and do the voice, which would be cool. We'll see how this one turns out. We need more detail on it. All we got was a brief reveal. Speaking of brief reveal, Kotobukiya looks like they're going to be doing a retool of their Optimus Prime, Bishoujo line. Nemesis Prime, the Decepticon Unicronian Herald. Unicronian is like the first time I think I've ever seen that written on a box for Transformers. That's interesting. It looks like it's just going to be essentially a straight repaint with an adjusted face to have a more evil expression. Okay, if you like your evil girls, there you go. I still like the fact that the Kotobukiya Bishoujo line is not like overly sexualized. It's just like, this is a character kind of flavored as this is just an anime girl flavored as a Transformer, and it's not nearly as creepy as it could be. So I give them credit for that. Not my thing, but for the collectors out there, there's going to be an evil Prime. There's going to be an evil female Prime now. Okay, this was weird. So a company called Perfect Toys, which is ironic given what they're about to produce, announced that they are going to be doing Rise of the Beast toys for Optimus and Bumblebee in the style of these like little auto-changing figurines. Now these are essentially the exact same things that I have seen in mall kiosks for years, and I've seen so many rip-off Transformers. I've seen like airplane, like not even like cool jets, but like 747s that do this, and it just has an Optimus Prime head for no reason. These are like the most common like fake Transformers you're going to find. Visit a mall. I know you haven't in years, but visit a mall, check the kiosks. You're going to find these things. They're doing ones for past movie figures, so we see like a Age of Extinction Optimus Prime is in there, as well as the Bumblebee. And then, yeah, we have Rise of the Beast ones too. But these are actually officially licensed, and apparently have like actual RC function, which interesting. Weird that these are actually official, considering how many unofficial ones there are of these. And when you call yourself Perfect Toys, I think these cheap little like things that are largely terrible, probably not the best thing to call perfect. Oh well. Something that is perfect. This thing is adorable. So, Symbiote Studios revealed their San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. It is a little plush of Slag. Oh, it's so cute. It's a little cute little plushy Triceratops. Oh, it's adorable. Let's see. I don't know if they did. I want to say I saw them do a Grimlock too, so it would make sense for them to go straight to Slag or Slug, depending on the licensing, I guess, depending on the trademark they're allowed to use. No, it's fun. It's just fun. Like, if they just keep doing this, if they hold the license long enough to do plushies of all 5 Dinobots, that would be kind of amazing. Other weird stuff for the week. Icon Heroes Transformers Kawaii Pins. So, little collectible enamel pins. They are 3-packed together. 3 Autobots, 3 Decepticons. These cute little chibi anime style. Almost Funko Pop akin in design aesthetic. Starscream is having a day. Like, I'm not sure what's going on in Starscream's world, but it's not good. So, pin collectors. I know pin collecting is a big thing these days. Here you go. 6 for the Transformer world. Now, let's end off on some things you can get when you are going to your Transformers movie. For starters, if you go to see it at an AMC theater, you will have the opportunity to get a Optimus Prime truck mode popcorn tin. I missed out. So the closest AMC theater to me is over an hour drive away. That was too far for me to be willing to go just to get the D20 popcorn bucket for the Dungeons and Dragons movie. Still upset I didn't do that, because now it's like over $150 on eBay to get one. So that's me missing out. But this is not quite my style. This just seems like it'd just be a big box that I wish would transform. With the big D20, like, it's just a giant D20, and that's actually kind of cool. I can use it to store all my other D20s. But this is just like an Optimus Prime that doesn't transform into robot mode. And I think to myself, if I want this on my shelf, all I have to do is transform my Masterpiece Optimus and put it on a shelf. So, like, this just seems like a weird box, but cool for those who want it. And they had to go with the vehicle mode because if you go to a Cinemark theater, you're going to be able to get an Optimus Prime head tub. This is very akin to a lot of novelty popcorn buckets I've seen where, they're just the character head that opens up. There are lights. There are lights in the bucket, so that is cool. So you get like glowing eyes if you want. It just opens up into either a storage unit or, a popcorn holder. The closest Cinemark theater to me is a 2.5-hour drive. Fortunately, I have a friend who will be hooking me up for this one. I learned from the D20. I will actually, I will make arrangements ahead of time to make sure that I get it. Alright, so that is the news roundup for the day. As usual, I've gone way over what I expected to, because, hey, there's a live-action movie coming out. There's a lot to cover. So, hopefully, once the movie is out, things will slow down, and we'll kind of get to, like, a normal rhythm around here again. But until then, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sticking around with these longer videos. I do appreciate it. And I will see you next time.
We're gonna have to get your names for the books. You, pair 1.
William Current.
Roll me a deception check.
I thought their name was Payne.
Roll a disadvantage.
Okay. Alright.
That was like the opposite of the help action there. You, Goblin.
First name D's.
Watch your tongue.